What up? What up? What's Sibbity? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the Wrap Up, aka Kicking It with the Cousins. Tony on the mic, and as always, I'm joined by my mailman, your mailman, the Easter Bunny's mailman,
Oh,
talking about Oz, the people's mailman. What's going on, brother?
that's a good one. What up, everybody? It's your boy, Cousin Oz, the People's Mailman, back for another episode with Cousin Tony, the Architect, baby. How you doing, man?
Wow, that's the first time you did that live, man. That
Yeah,
is
see,
dope.
it's real. I can actually do it live.
One take, Oz. But no, I'm feeling good, brother. Yeah, it's just another Thursday night, holiday weekend for some. So I actually don't work tomorrow, so this is dope. I have nowhere to be, so this might be an extended mix for me. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you work tomorrow?
actually, I don't. It's surprising. They worked me too many hours, so now they're trying to cut back. And I was on the list to be off tomorrow, which my wife and my daughter do not know. So I'll be trying to sleep in for a little bit before they realize, hey, dad's still here.
Like, get your ass up. You got
Yeah,
stuff to do.
exactly.
Yeah, so it's nice to get a little break from the action.
Yeah, no doubt.
So man, this week we had the pleasure of interviewing ourselves. So
Yes, man.
that was fun. We got to talk about a little bit about what we're doing, and like I said, we sometimes we don't get to talk in detail too much just because of the nature of our show with having a guest on, and the Thursdays, sometimes we get little we got the chat going, we got all that stuff, so it's a little different flow, which I mean I love. There's absolutely nothing wrong with anything. I'm just saying sometimes we don't get that alone time, so
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to talk about what we've been up to and some pickups and your low balling tactics.
Well, you seen it in action, bro.
I did.
It wasn't like I was lying. Just the other day, was 2 days ago, I sent you the screenshot where the guy's asking, what was it, $1,800 for
Yeah.
the one Michael, and I gave him a low ball offer of $200, and he thought about it for probably about an hour. Came back, he came back with 450, and I wrote him a little note. I said, "Listen, I'm not going to pay any more than 250." Um, it was in a CSG, right? No, it was a SGC slab.
Mhm.
And I let him know that my Michael Jackson collection is all PSA. Trying to keep it uniform, in honor of Tony there. So I'm gonna have to, if I were to purchase this card, I'm gonna have to crack it out and resub it to PSA and have to pay for that. So I will not be paying any more than 250 for this card. Take it or leave it. Thought about it for 2 hours, got back to me, boom, accepted the deal. So from 1,800 down to 250.
It's like you said. I mean, these guys are in those cards for probably pennies on the dollar.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I see it like, dude, these cards, it's not like they're rare. There's some that are rare, but when
mhm,
they're, as far as graded ones, there's none, you know? So
mhm,
that's why somebody decided, okay, I'm going to buy a bunch of them, send them in. And, they're PSA 8s, PSA 9s, no 10s, mainly 9s. But like I said, they're the pop ones. And then they're figuring, shoot, the one guy that did have a PSA 10, I showed you the price. He's asking
yeah,
$10,000 for it. And it's a
yeah,
modern card, came out like a year or two ago, and just because it's a PSA 10, the dude's like, "Yeah, this thing is worth $10,000." I'm like, "Man, you're gonna be the next victim. When just give
yeah,
me a little bit of time because I'm not gonna be able to pull, the $100 low ball on
right,
the $10,000 offer, but I'm definitely not gonna be paying 10,000."
yeah. You never know though. I mean, I would have never guessed that you would have been able to pull a $200 price tag off of a guy who has a $2,500
Yeah,
starting thing on it too. So I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
don't know.
Hey, anything's possible in this hobby. That's why I love it, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's
And listen, moral of the story is there's nothing wrong with giving a low ball offer, and especially with the way eBay's set up. If they already put their minimum,
mhm,
what they're gonna take, obviously it'll get rejected. So you'll know you got like 5 tries to try to
yeah,
figure out where they're at. And sometimes have you ever seen when they give you a little hint and said
yeah,
try $600?
right, right. Yeah, and I think sometimes I often wonder, I was like, is that really eBay doing that, or is that the seller? Is that eBay doing
I
that
remember
stuff?
when I used to listen to our boys. Geez, now I'm drawing a blank on their names. The soccer guys from Arizona.
Geez, yeah, I know. I see their thing and everything. You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
I can't
but they
remember right now. I'm
they
sorry,
used to talk
guys.
about though that
Yeah,
the little trick of the trade with eBay telling you,
mhm,
basically, hey, try 600 or their minimum,
yeah,
what they're willing to accept. So they said eBay did it. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, whatever. I don't. Could be could be something where they know that those cards are selling for a little bit for a certain price, and you know, they suggest a price. Let me get to a couple comments here real quick. Kamish is in the building. What's up, Kamish? Kamish says, "Hey, cuz." Big John is here. What's up, Big John? Father son vintage cards. What is up, guys? What's going on? And so the commish says your lowball offers for these cards sound like some of your fantasy trade offers. Oh, that is
It's pretty good, Commish.
yeah,
Pretty good.
that's cool.
Not funny, but pretty good.
Yeah, Mr. Sports Card Therapist is in the chat. What's going on? Mi primos, Rob, what's going on, brother?
Love it,
Uh,
love it.
yeah, as
By the
always.
way, it was Wax Talk with Raw Mints.
There it is. Yep. Yes. 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 I forgot
Our
about those
boys.
guys, Carlos and
Yep.
Bruce. Now I
Carlos
the
and
name
Bruce.
is yeah. So and Cardboard Trap House is in the building. The Cardboard Trap House is watching and sorting.
Perfect.
So absolutely. And Papa Jim is here as well. Papa Jim,
Papa
welcome.
Jim in the house.
Yeah. Listen, I had a bunch of conversations with Papa Jim this week just about all kinds of stuff, man. And he's got
Yeah.
a very unique story about his dad. Man, if you guys don't know, check out Papa Jim on Instagram. Dad played in the Phillies organization. He's got really cool stuff about cool stories and cool pictures about the stuff he's finding from his dad's playing days.
Hmm.
So it's kind of cool because a lot of that, there's not a lot of that stuff around.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
seen one of his posts and I was like, man, I didn't have time to comment like what I really wanted to. I liked it, but I wanted to get
mhm,
on there and say, yeah, that's amazing. The things that you never know what you can find, man. And it's cool
you know,
reminiscing, especially, because it's his dad. So
mhm.
it's got to definitely hit him in the feels when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine finding like,
Oh, man.
yeah, that, yeah,
Like, my dad passed away in 2015, so if I were to just start rummaging through some of my things and be able to find, things from his past, that man,
you
that
might
would
find his black book.
yeah,
You're like, what is this?
yeah. Wait a minute.
What you got
Gotta
going
gotta
on here?
destroy everything I ever thought about.
Yeah, yeah. You look at the thing and says, "What does GTD stand for on the side?" If you don't know what that reference is, I'll let you know off the air. But yo, so so right before we got on here, I told you, I said, "Man, this is weird because we had ourselves on the show this week, so we usually talk about the guests and
Yeah.
recap it." And you talked about you went down a cousin's rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was listening to Rob's episode, his latest and greatest on a, Spotify. So when it was done, it automatically just kicked to Cousins Collectibles because I have that, subscribed as well. And it started right from the rip from our little minute intro. And that, just made me smile. And I didn't think it was just, I thought it was, going to stop after that, but it just went into episode one. And then I had it, I did a Rob special. I had it on, I think it was 2.0 speed. So we sounded like chipmunks. But I got to give it to Rob, man. Like when you first put it on,
mhm,
it's crazy. It sounds like there's no way you can understand it, but like you give it a minute and your brain just processes it and you're able to, it almost like goes like the Matrix and it slows down
yeah,
and you're able to grasp everything. So yeah, you can knock out these episodes quickly and get the gist of it once the brain just like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, bro.
okay,
Human brain is amazing, dude.
I know
Honestly.
stuff that I try not to. So basically, I get all my content is in the car and I'm at work. So I try to time it out so that while I'm driving around doing my job, that I have enough podcast material to
Hmm.
last me the day. Like I hate when I run out. And I'm
Yeah,
like, "Ah, man. Then I'll just go back and listen to like I've listened to shows, others like our show or other shows again. Just like, oh, I like that. I'll just listen to it again. Like I've
multiple
done that.
times.
But yeah. But no,
But
real
it
quick
was
before
cool
we
though,
go ahead.
just going down, like you said, the Cousins Collectibles rabbit hole and to see where we came from, all the guests that we interviewed. The first time we interviewed Rob, first cousin John coming on, and talking to him and that it's funny because cousin John, he's a kind of
Mhm.
guy, he can command the room and he likes to talk. Let's keep it
Yeah.
real. He can talk. He has his own show and he's done it for a long time. So the difference, we had a couple interviews with him, and with John, you just got to sometimes take the bull by the horns and jump right in there, or he'll keep it going. And that first interview, he kept it going, but I mean, he was interesting, obviously,
Yes.
but it just showed our growth from that very first, because that was our first time we had somebody big on the Cousins Collectibles podcast. So it's like you don't want to step on somebody's toes or, trying
Yeah.
to figure out exactly when to come in. And then to listen to other episodes that we've done lately, just the back and forth that we have, knowing when to talk, and not just it being a question and answer. It's more like a conversation now.
Yes.
Where
Yep.
back then it was just okay, we would just ask a question and just stand back.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And like, so when we're now, you're gonna have probably have me doing it too. I'm gonna have to go back because I know like not only the we're growing with the podcast game here, but the way we collect, how we collect,
Love what you
we
collect.
love what we collect. Look at that, Erica, right on time.
Showing
Uh,
love.
yeah, for sure. Steve, welcome as well. Uh, like I've always said, it's our verbal diary, and you can see and you
Yes.
can hear where Tony was like all over the place in the beginning. Then I like now you got me speaking in the third person like the odds. You see, like I got you with OCD of the the Michael
Stamp.
Jackson stuff, and
Oh,
now
okay,
you
yeah.
got me speaking in third person. So when cousin Tony is all over the place in episode one until now, where I kind of a little bit more focused in on what I want to do. Like I like
It's
that,
all
man. We're able to look back
Yeah,
and
and it's a learning curve, and same thing. Rob is going through it. Anybody that does content creation, from the first time you do something to now, there's obviously going to be growth, but it's still cool. Like I listened to it, it wasn't like I was like cringing. It wasn't cringeworthy content. I was like, man, this, even though it was like our first or second episode, I was like, this is, not to toot our own horn and pat ourselves on the back, but this is not bad. We weren't bad, and we've never done anything like this, and it was pretty cool, man. And it just, sometimes you just gotta appreciate, what you're doing. We get caught up when we're doing this because we have our jobs, and it's like everything is just like bang, 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 and we're doing all kinds of things. We're doing Hobby Hotline, we're doing the Wolf Pack, we're doing this twice a week. We got our own jobs. You got, Goya, you're doing your basketball tournaments. I'm delivering 6, sometimes 7 days a week. So it's like sometimes you don't even have time to breathe. We're just going and going and going, and just doing that today, it was cool just to sit back and be like, man, look at what we've accomplished. We're 13 episodes away from 100, um, which is, like I said, it's crazy,
yeah,
what we've been doing. And just look, we're doing this live now. We have all these people that are just chiming in, listening to the crap that we're talking and loving it. And I love it. Like we always talk about how this is like cheers, man, coming into the virtual bar, hanging out, making it, something where people can come, they can, have discussions, say what's up. We give them a shout out. I love it. This is great.
yeah. Yeah, I do too. Before we move on, yeah. So Splendor's brain runs on slow mo. So he actually he does his podcast in minus 2x speed. Like
Is,
it's like
is
really
that
you know,
serious? Or are you
yeah.
just saying that?
No, no. No.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah. Splendor would say something like that. Erica from Love What You Collect is here. Erica, appreciate you. Bambino, que lo que? What's going
Yeah.
on, brother? I'm actually talking to Bambino. We were just exchanging some DMs over here. And Collector's Dream is here. Appreciate you, brother. Mike Petty is just here. He's here stalking Orlando and Splendor. Mike Petty is the he's like the dude behind the bushes just peeking out. Yeah. So
He's like Homer Simpson, but coming out
yeah.
instead of going back in.
So so dude, right before kind of earlier today and last night, earlier today, I guess a lot of news breaking here. It's been a heavy news week in the hobby, but a bunch of it Panini employees moving over to Fanatics. And
Hmm.
I asked you, I was like, so are we just gonna take this team and rename it to this team and it's just the same guys? Like, or what how do you think this could all play out?
Well, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I mean, obviously they're talented people. There's a lot of people at Panini. They've come out with some good products. There's people that have been up in arms about what Panini has done, but then there's a lot of products out there, National Treasures, Flawless, Prism, that people swear by, and
Mhm.
and that the hobby loves. So I guess Fanatics is like, hey, we can use those people and bring them on board, and they might, obviously, if Panini has those card licenses and the ability to use those, they're going to have to go with something else. But at least if they have the brainchild and able to bring something similar or even better than Flawless or National Treasures, build upon that, um, you know they already had the groundwork laid out. So it's kind of like, why not bring those people on board, pick their brains, and see what they can come up with that'll be even better than those products.
Yeah. Before I make my point, there's your boy.
James Newman. Yo, James is the man. Appreciate you, bro. Love you.
Yeah, thank you, James. Yeah, I often so what's weird is so all these movement guys moving from here to there, and then we'll get a little bit into this whole slab thing. For me, like it doesn't almost most of it doesn't move the needle because I'm like I'm not collecting that stuff.
Hmm.
So like it's weird. Like all these things are happening, all this crazy stuff, and there's new innovation and there's new products. I'm like, yeah, I don't buy any of it.
Yeah.
It's like
I
it's kind
mean,
of weird to
but
be
you
like,
do, you do.
I
I mean,
do, but like, yeah, like
but
so, but
it's
like,
not like your main focus.
yeah,
It's almost like,
exactly.
hey, I might as well try this. This is pretty cool. You know, the
Yes.
refractors that you got,
Yeah.
the completing the rainbow, the Roberto Clemente. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, and same thing with me. For example, I purchased this Allen Iverson Topps 2021 Finest.
Mhm.
So
Right.
this is, I love this card.
Yeah, it's dope.
Obviously it's unlicensed, but you got AI and all
Mhm.
its swag.
Yeah.
Dope ass card. So things like that. And I got a little bit more modern than you do. But obviously, listen, bro, just because we collect that way, the hobby's big, and then the
Oh, yeah.
kids, the kids gonna want to collect the prism. They're gonna want to collect,
Yeah.
and then the upper tier, the people that got the money, they're going for the national treasures, and they're trying to get those rookies. And there's people that swear by the flawless and the chunky patches and the on
Mhm.
card autos. So there's all kinds of products out there that we may not be interested or can't afford, but the hobby just they're gonna love those products, and they're gonna want to see those things when Fanatics finally takes over. There's got to be products that are, I wouldn't say exactly the same, but got to be on par with a flawless or you know what I mean, a national treasures,
Yeah.
to have your higher end cards. And then obviously you'll always have the vintage, and that's your
Mhm.
lane. That's something you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be the middle of the road. So again, man, it's going to be interesting seeing what Fanatics does, because at the end of the day, no matter what, you could always collect, from this point for backwards.
Yeah.
And even like if you're still a fan of Panini, now that's considered not old school, but it's not Fanatics. So if that's what you were a fan of, just you can go back, start collecting that stuff.
Yeah.
And then little by little, you just see what Fanatics is all about, and you never know. Got to give it
Yeah.
a chance.
Sure, absolutely. I wonder if like they're gonna like come up with their own staple product. You know how everybody has, every brand is known for, like you said, Panini National Treasures, stuff like that. So I'm interested to see what they do. And James is asking if I still have that Wilt rookie kicking around. Yes, sir, I do. It's tucked away, and it's tucked away. Let's just leave it at that. So real quick, I guess we left the back door open. Somebody is in the somebody's walking in. Let me bring him in here real
Oh, who do we
quick.
got?
Mr. Steve
Hey, there he
Splenda.
is.
Up, boys?
What's
What's up,
going on,
brother?
brother?
How we doing tonight?
What's that shirt you got on?
Oh, dude, this old hoodie. It's a Red Sox.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not. I mean, I can't sit here and act like I'm a boss. I don't even watch baseball like that.
I
I
gotcha.
used to play, man. Back in the day, I was pretty damn good, but
Oh,
Yeah, we
watching
saw
it,
the
man, it's like watching paint dry sometimes.
we saw you in the baseball pose. Somebody did a
oh yeah.
Brennan Ryan did
Oh,
a
B. Ryan, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That
sure.
picture was from Louisville,
Okay.
the Louisville factory.
Oh,
I
okay.
went to a Notre Dame played down there a few years ago. So me and the family went down and we took a tour of that place. I recommend it. It's pretty neat, man. They take you in the back of the factory. They show you how they make the bats and everything. It's pretty
Mm,
cool.
that's cool. That's cool. Before we move on here, Mike Petty says he'll buy a Dodger hat from Fanatics every 5 years. Oh, so yeah, Bambino brings up the Fanatics rookie patch. That's
Oh
one
yeah,
way they're
yeah, yeah.
making moves. And the commish who is in here somewhere, he's in here and watching hockey at the same time. Always commish, always multitasking. He's like, dude, that's badass. Like that patch.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's one way to come out the gate.
So basically, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. So, for example, these guys are going out in they got this rookie patch. So all the rookies have this special patch, and then
Yeah,
after their first game, do they take those patches then and
yeah,
then put them into the cards, right?
yep,
Oh,
yes,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're gonna, if that's gonna translate to the other sports because that'd be pretty cool. I don't
Yeah.
see why not.
So
I hope we get more
it's only
game
one.
used.
Is it only
One,
one?
one.
So it's like a 1-on-1 that
Yeah,
rookie's first game
that's it.
jersey. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. So, um, commission's also taking eBay listings, taking pics, geez, and balancing plates. Yeah, like that's fire. And I wonder, I would love to see it. You know, me, man, I was a sucker for football cards. I would love to see that in the NFL, just to see how that kind of goes. Um, Mike says they will just use the threads and make 1,000 patches for each guy. That you took the words right out of my mouth because I was like, okay, so is it just gonna be one patch, or are we gonna?
Yeah, I mean, if it's one, yeah, like think about it. If Wembenaya, if that's his name, right?
Man,
Wemby,
at this point, I guess.
When
Wemby. If
Yeah,
Wemby were to come,
Wendy,
he's the first pick of the draft in the NBA. His first game, he goes out, wears that jersey, and then they take that Fanatics. You know what I mean? Like, and put that logo. I guess that would be the new logo, man. The big chase.
that
Um,
good point because now you have the logo man and you have the patch.
yeah,
I think the patch would be cooler.
yeah, because that's the ultimate rookie card.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because it's like it's a little bit more personal because everybody has the NBA logo. You know what I mean? Not that
Mhm.
that's bad,
it's
but I think like the patch might be a little bit more appealing because
I
it's
think
like
so, bro. Like for example, like
yeah.
Wemby, that would be his go-to card. Like I mean, obviously they'll have other rookie cards, but that one, if you were to get that, imagine what you
Mhm.
could ask for that.
if I remember right, isn't that how when Exquisite came out, Upper Deck Exquisite, like their rookie stuff was game used
Hmm.
in those
I
sets. I'm pretty
believe
sure.
so.
I'm not somebody fact check me,
I
but
think
I'm
so.
pretty sure that's how it was with
I mean, I
Exquisite.
didn't have that type of money, or I wasn't even thinking. I mean, I did have that money in 2003, 2004. I just what Exquisite wasn't on my mind back then, which
Yeah,
kind of
man. At the
pissed me
time,
off.
man, if I was smart at that time, I'd have went crazy on Topps Chrome back in
Yeah,
2003, 2004. I'd have bought that. I mean, knowing now,
yeah.
if
I
you could
I
go
think
back.
boxes were going for like $500 for Exquisite.
Listen,
And you
if we're
know
gonna
what? At
go,
the
if
time, that was crazy.
yeah, but I mean, if we're gonna go down that, if I would have known, I would have invested in hair plugs in 2003. So let's not be, Mhm.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So let's just be easy on that. But no, yeah, I think that would be fire. And like I said, I'm interested to see if it goes into other sports. No, across the board.
I don't see why not. I think it's gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a success, and then once the hobby, catches on and that really becomes the go-to for all rookies,
Mhm.
sky's the limit with that, bro.
Yeah, and this was actually one of the things where I saw overwhelming positive response by the hobby.
Mhm.
I didn't see much of people, because usually it's whatever it is, somebody's gonna find a way to hate it.
Yeah.
But they were like, nah, man, this is cool because the patch looks cool too. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
goofy looking patch either.
I think Panini got a little bit too much into the like event worn stuff where it
Mhm.
might not be as personable for collectors.
Yeah,
But if you can go with game used, I think that's gonna
and
tickle people's fancy for sure. That's a
yeah,
good move by Fanatics
Yep.
if it's gonna
yeah,
go across the board.
Yeah.
yeah. Even the event worn was, I guess, because I mean, then they got to the point where it was no event,
Yeah,
nothing, like straight nothing. Where now even event worn was like, all right,
fan
well at least he
shop,
put it on.
Yeah.
fan shops.
Yeah. So now it's like, geez. But
It's like they had a little taste. The pandemic came and they could use that as the excuse as to why they couldn't get these people, and then it just slowly trickled into like, we don't give a shit, like
yeah, I mean, at that
keep it
point, if
going.
one, yeah,
You
as
know
I
what
say, once the horse is out, it's like,
I was kind of wondered if like you see these guys who do like the jersey swaps at end of games, and like
mhm,
maybe that was an issue where like some of these companies just couldn't get their hands on the game use stuff because a lot of guys do this. Like you see it after like every
Mhm.
NBA game, guys are
yeah,
switching. Now in the NFL, guys are switching out jerseys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think they got that from soccer. I think you see that in soccer first. I could be wrong, so I'm wrong, but I remember guys been doing that in soccer for a while. But I mean, yeah,
I know they weren't doing that with the Pistons and the Bulls back in the day.
Yeah,
oh no, dude,
it's
listen,
a
that would have
different
been
generation, man. Those guys, I mean, there was no love back then.
I
yeah,
remember when the Bulls finally won and Detroit
they walked
just
off.
walked the hell off, didn't shake their hand or just like, "Get
Yo,
out of
Jordan's still butthurt over that, man.
here." Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
he wanted to be acknowledged. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
so hey, that's just the way it was, and whatever. So Steve, I'm glad you're here because I want to get your take. So we we're gonna talk about this a little bit on Mondays. We recorded Monday's episode yesterday, and we talked with our guest about this. But it was the April Fool's joke heard around the world that really wasn't a joke. Beckett's whole thing this week, well, last weekend leading into this week, and now I see, there's they put the statement out. There's going to be surveys and things like that to talk about what the heck went wrong. So, what do you think about all that stuff, man?
I mean, I got a few ideas around this. First off, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was Mint Collective, like it was the same time. I don't know if it was last year when they presented those new slabs.
It was national.
National. Yep.
Okay, national. So they've done something like this before, where like they've put this out into the sphere, and they got pushback or something, which made them backtrack. I think Beckett is screwing up a little bit with their marketing right now. Like the people who are doing this stuff, I don't know who like is in their promotion meetings where it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, but it's like, I think Beckett needs to step it up as far as their marketing. And then the other thing I would say is the good end of this is it's good how the hobby kind of forced their hand in a way, because it was an immediate like, this ain't a good idea, and the community kind of spoke up. And it's nice that when the community speaks up like that, these corporations, if you will, have to adjust to us. We're the consumers. So the fact that they realize it's like, this ain't a good look, we're going to backtrack from this. Yeah, they kind of have egg on their face a little bit, but I think there's a positive where it's like the community has a lot more power than I think we even realized.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Is the fact. I mean, and they did backtrack, because I'm not totally familiar on the X's and O's, but what they were about to do was spend set a precedent in a price spiral between like among 9.5s where what, like, I mean, the market would have had to adjust regardless.
Yeah.
But guys like me who have like, I have a KD refractor 9.5 and it's got 3 9.5s and a 9. So it wouldn't be valued to what it, I would have immediately lost value on something. Now it's staying in my PC.
You're right.
But people who are flipping and moving cards, like they're taking a value hit. So I think people were pissed. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Is this after dark?
What's that?
This is after dark. You're good.
Oh, yeah. People were pissed. But it was good that the community kind of, not even that it was organized. It was just people knew that, like, this isn't a good idea. This is a bad precedent to set.
Right.
Because it just shows you, like, a lot of these prices become manufactured if a grading company can just change the scale at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of good on the community, who everybody kind of.
Yeah, that's a good point, Steve.
You know what I mean? It wasn't even like a network. It was just everybody was like, this rubs us the wrong way, and they had to adjust.
And it's a fine line too, because it's like if you're a company and you put in all this work and you guys, you got your think tanks there and everybody's saying, yeah, this is a good idea, and you go ahead and roll out something and then 2.5 seconds later, you know what? Like, I don't think we should do this. So it's like, when now are once you bend once, it's almost like you know what I mean? Now you got to bend, all the time. It's like what my main point was that I discussed is Beckett just needs to go back to the basics. They're worried about things like the grading scale, which the hobby knows the grading scale. We know about, what's mint plus, and, what a 9.5 is compared to a PSA 10. And, obviously Black Label being the bomb of all bomb grades. If you get one of those, like, you can charge whatever you want on the crappiest card. Doesn't matter. So we know the scale. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just go ahead and build upon what Beckett does best, and that's your subgrades. And that's the reason why people love Beckett, is because of the subgrades, and not only that, try to focus on getting better price points, being, more comparable to what, PSA and SGC is doing. And, and better customer service. The website is trash,
Right.
like things like that. Work on those things. If you perfect those little things, Beckett will obviously, we're even after all the crap, Beckett is still, kind of 2-3, behind PSA. So it's like, you just gotta,
And this
work
is
through.
this is what I would say. People want Beckett. I think
Right.
more competition in the marketplace of the grading companies is a good thing. But it's like, who in their marketing department, like of all the things they could have come out and done, why would it, like, who was in that board meeting and said, you know what? This is what we're good. This is a good idea. And everybody at the table were, yeah, this is a great
That's the
idea.
thing, Steve. It's not the guy that said this. It's all the other dudes that were like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
man.
nobody.
And that's where it's just like, what kind of like, do you have hobbyists involved in this? Because if you got actually have collectors in those meetings, I guarantee you that idea would have got shot down
It
real
would have
fast.
got shot down. And here's what I think happened. They're not hobbyists and they're people trying to make money and they're looking at profit margins. And they said, listen, if we
Mhm.
change the grading scale, these guys are gonna have to, if they have a bunch of, like 295s and a 9 and and they want to go ahead and bump it up, they're gonna have to resubmit now all those cards. So not only are we gonna get a new influx of just regular cards being graded, but everybody that has the old slabs are gonna have to get upgraded. So, right, like, go ahead, Tony.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mike
that's Mike
Tony
says the
just,
same thing. He said they
yep.
probably thought that they would have all their customers resend their stuff back and pay more fees,
Yep.
which is what I said. I was like, so instead of trying to fix things to innovate or whatever to bring in new customers, no, let's just recycle the ones that we have now, make them all mad and have them send in their stuff.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like it's I don't know.
It blew up.
It makes you think, man. It's just like, what was like, I don't know. I just, in my opinion, that's where it's just like, of all the things you could have adjusted and fixed within Beckett, like that was the grand idea. It just makes
Yeah.
you wonder. It's like, man, like, what is their future going to be like? Because I do think people want Beckett to be relevant.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I think competition in the grading market is a good thing.
Mhm.
Like you want options, but man, they're just like,
Yeah. They can't get out of their own way. Beckett has been obviously Beckett Publications and Beckett Grading has been around, from the very beginning. And, people respect it. And now it's sad to say it's almost become a joke, a punchline. It can be salvaged, but they really, really have to dig in and realize it's just about getting back to the basics and not trying to reinvent the wheel.
yeah. And I'd hate to say like try to emulate PSA because I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's the like the correct way to go, but it's like, can you at least see how PSA's been moving and how they've overtaken you and
Mhm.
like branch from that in some way?
Yeah.
I don't have any answers for them. I mean, there's a reason I'm low IQ
Nah,
Steve,
listen,
but you know what I mean. I
it's
can at least tell a bad idea when it comes out.
yeah, it's just about fixing the little things first. Like I said, the website, things like that. First of all, the price point, the turnaround times, things like that are
Mhm.
that are opening the door for PSA to distance themselves and for everybody else behind them to catch up.
Because
Yep.
let's be honest, like SGC, the only reason they were a player is because they had reduced their price points when PSA just was
Yeah.
overwhelmed, and
I
they were the only
agree.
ones that were open and grading. So
Mhm.
then they cornered that end of the market. That should have been the point where Beckett made their move,
Yes.
and instead they shut down as well,
It was
and
like
it left
it was like
SGC
the
to be the.
window of opportunity, and SGC took it, and they
Yeah,
just didn't do anything.
yep.
Because I agree. I mean, I think SGC would always have a mainstay for vintage,
Hmm.
Mhm.
but like nobody really wanted to grade SGC with their modern. But like you said, Oz, when PSA shut down, it was like they took advantage of it. They
Yeah,
gave
'cause
you price
nobody. I
points. They gave
mean,
you quick return.
you could have paid $150, $200, 250 per card, which was
Yeah.
insane now that you think about it. But people were actually doing it because they were so desperate to get it in a PSA slab. And then
Yep.
finally, everybody just broke down. And the shift was funny because at first nobody was giving a crap about SGC, and then when the prices, they were like, well, you know what, you're looking at
Yeah.
the timepiece at the bar, and then you see
Yeah.
the
Listen,
six.
that's right. Cause look, by the time it gets to like 1:30 in the morning, you're like, yo, it ain't happening. You look down the other way. Ah, well. Just saying.
Cheers.
Yeah. But no, and that there is so now we get back to we're kind of evening out. And again, like I hope the one thing that if they do learn, again, I'm not a pro at all this stuff, but I'll say let's stay away from making big moves at big hobby events.
No
I mean?
national, no mixed
Nah, dude.
collective.
And
Do it
that's
on like Arbor Day,
Yeah.
dude, like
stuff like that.
that's like compounded the issue where it's like they're going on these big stages
Yeah.
and like missing their lines. You know what I mean? And it looks worse because it's like for these big events, you think you would come out with a discount at these big events. Like come out with something that would get people like unanimously like, I want to grade with Beckett because of this. But it's like, again, I'm not trying to beat that dead horse, but it's like, I don't know who was in that marketing meeting, but I mean, everybody who had to have come to agreement on this, they got to hire some new people or something.
Yeah, I don't know. So real quick, Commish says, yeah, Beckett, Commish knows because he was big shout out to the Commish. He made his podcast hosting debut this week on the Hockey Cards Gong Show. There you go, Commish. Check out the Commish show. He was reading charts and all kinds of stuff, and Beckett's way far behind in monthly grading. Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's next and from. I mean, you know how I feel about it, but there's very little incentive to go with them because now you're in limbo. They're taking surveys now. They're asking this and that, and I don't know. Like the confidence level is low, bro.
Right. And it's like not like you can hire more people to get, pump out the grading because they're not getting any new business to be able to afford to hire new people. So, dude, they're really in a rock and a hard place between a rock and a hard place right now. And it's going to be, they got to work some magic, dude, to get this thing.
The only thing that's appealing as far as Beckett right now is your thick stock cards. Like, if you have like patch cards, like your flawless stuff, even your older stuff that you want to get graded. The thick stock card is like the only thing Beckett has going for him because of the 0.5 grading scale too. So like outside of that, what would be the incentive to go with Beckett at this point?
Yeah, next to nothing.
You know what I mean? And that's where it's like somebody in that meeting's got to come up like, guys, we got to figure something out. What do the people want? But other than sending a thick stock card, because that's what everybody told me with my KD Flawless was like, why are you sending it to PSA? Send it to BGS. I said, Bafangul, I'm sending it to PSA. and I luckily got a 9. So that was lucky on my part.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, and you would think that those cards that are sealed like that from the factory that they should get a nice grade. But yeah, I mean, Bambino says about the black label. Obviously, the black label that I tip the hat. You cannot.
But the chances of getting one,
right?
But odds are, if you don't get your black label, you're gonna crack it and send it to PSA if you want that PSA 10 over like your 9.5.
Yeah. Unless you get a pristine.
Yeah, that's true too.
The pristine isn't too bad.
All right, Katie, let's go.
Tone, breakdown.
Right now, it was supposed to be. It is Denver and Phoenix tonight. I was looking forward to a Joker Kevin Durant matchup, but he's Embiid's got to wrap up now.
Your boy gave up.
Dude, he's been resting like the last.
He played one game out of 5.
And then he played last night at Houston and they lost.
And he played,
like crap. The same night Embiid went for that 50 piece, but it's over now.
50 burger.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the numbers, Commissioner says PSA 1.2 million cards, SGC 121,000, CSG 84K,
wow. That's
and BGS 71.
Wow.
Holding up the rear.
Yeah.
That's telling, man. That's telling.
Yeah. So like what we were talking last night is for me being a kid that grows up through the Beckett era and I kept hearing it's the magazine and to hear now the Beckett name just being the last guy in the race, it seems so weird, man.
Isn't it weird, man? I remember when they were top dog. Like they were ahead of PSA
that's when Dr. Beckett was in charge, and once he retired and sold the company, it's just slowly but surely been diminishing and, look at where it's ended up. So sometimes it really is all about leadership. And Dr. Beckett was the man, still is to this day. We were lucky and we're still blessed to have him around, providing words of wisdom. He has his own little podcast and, he's on Hobby Hotline. So, if you have a chance, man, listen to his podcast. They're only like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, real short.
short episodes, but packed full of knowledge and the stuff. Like, he's forgotten more about the hobby than we could ever possibly know.
Mhm.
And Tony and I have both interacted with him, and the dude's a genius, like literal, like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's like the combo is wild.
Yeah, the
Speaking of,
conversation is
yeah,
wild, and the thing is, not you lose that as your head. You know, you cut off the head of the snake, and you're just floundering now, and that's exactly what happened with them. So
yeah, he just probably. I mean, I'm sure he has a lot to say, and actually, I think he's going to be on Hobby Hotline this week, and
yes,
I'm not sure how much he can or can't say, but
yeah, but he will be talking about it on Saturday, right?
you
I was gonna say I'm kind of
yeah,
curious what he has to say about this whole situation.
yeah,
I don't know what he would. I mean, I can't assume, but I would think he's probably like, "What the
yeah, yeah,
guy's doing?
Yeah,
Like, what are
behind
you
closed
doing?
doors, he's definitely like, "What
I
the?"
left you a golden goose, and
yeah.
Yeah,
you're shitting out turds now."
Yeah, it kind of sucks to like have your name, like, because his name is tied to that.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's not like it's not like it's a generic company name. It's like, damn, man, like,
we should
yeah.
change it from Beckett to Bucket.
Bucket slabs.
Yeah. So I don't know how yeah, but that's, I don't know. It's dude, they got a long way to go.
They
Like,
got a long way to go. But Tony, man, you got to tell me, you got some really cool things that happened to you today.
yeah.
Multiple, like you've been on cloud nine, man. Talk to me about your day, bro, because it's
Listen to bro.
like it's
Yeah.
been amazing.
Had a pretty cool day today. So first I get the Ken yeah, I guess we'll start there.
Yeah.
Ken Carl shows the first half of this project that I commissioned through him. And when I told him, I said, "Hey, listen, I know he usually does the one card, and it's he does the art card, whatever. Like Oz is Allen Iverson." And I said, "I love that, but I said I want something different, just to kind of stand out from the crowd." And he's like, "Well, what do you want?" I said, "I want to have two cards, but I want the two cards to kind of go together, where
Mhm.
maybe the picture starts here and ends over here." And Clemente, I said, "I want to have Clemente," and I said, "I want to have two cards." I said, and that's all I know. I said, "You're the artist, make it happen." And he's like, "Ah," I was like, "Dude, I don't know. I don't care. Just make it fire. I know you're gonna make it fire." So he, you know, back and forth, and send him some images, whatever. He does his thing. And so today, dude, so the other day he showed me a little preview, and it was dope. But the preview that he posted today, I was like, "Yo, what is that?" And I'm like, I send it to Tops. I'm like, "You need to get this guy needs to be
Yep.
employed. Like, you need to stop playing. Like, this is ridiculous." I mean, this is hand drawn. And if you guys haven't seen it, check out it's Ken Carl. I should know it.
Hold on.
Yeah, well, we look it up. I'm gonna make sure you get that. But yeah, dude.
Instagram.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, Oz will get it. So basically, he shows this thing, and it's crazy. And I'm a sucker for acetate cards, and
Mhm.
it kind of has that look. It's on an acrylic background, and it's really dope. And so he posts it, and everybody's commenting, and Roberto Clemente Jr. comments on his post saying, that he liked, he's like fantastic, whatever it is. I was like, wow, cool. It's
So
like
Roberto's son.
Roberto's son. You
Whoa,
see that thing, Steve? Yeah, it's fire,
man,
right?
that looks nice.
Yeah. And Oz, what's Ken? I want to make sure I give
It's
out his.
at Ken Ken _ Carl KARL _ sports with an S _ art ART.
There you go. Ken Carl Sports. So he posts this thing, and if you look in the comments, Roberto Clemente Jr. comments that he likes the card. And
That is
immediately I'm like, holy crap. I was like, to have the guy's son comment on that, and the commission points out, he's like, dude, you're 1 degree away from, I was like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that. So,
man.
I go about
I
my
can't believe
day.
that's hand done. That's
That's
beautiful.
crazy, right? Yeah. And I wish, like, I can't wait to have it in hand so you guys can all see it. I'm gonna have to get like a really nice camera to take up, because if I take a picture with my phone, it's not gonna do it justice at all. But anyway, so the day goes on, and I get, I go back on Instagram, have the notification, and here Roberto Jr. liked one of my reels, the 101 of his father. So I was like, damn, I was like, look at that. So it was really dope to have acknowledgement from his son that,
That
again,
is
these are,
cool.
yeah, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
That's
don't know.
sick.
It's, yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat
It's
today.
mind blowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is, because here you are, taking your hard earned money and you're putting it into Roberto Clemente, one of the greatest baseball players, one of the best humanitarians. Like this dude was like, talk about a legend and everything that he's done, not only for baseball, but for mankind. And he's a hero, like
Mhm.
a real life superhero. And you made him, that's your PC. And, Ken Carl was able to take your idea and run with it and make this masterpiece is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was like, my mouth dropped. I'm like, oh man, that's so beautiful. It's gorgeous. And then he used the acrylic, right? The
Yeah.
acetate.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
that's why I was like, "What?" Because I
yeah,
asked you in the commission, I was like, "Which one of you two told Ken that I'm a sucker for acetate cards?"
yeah.
But
And this is the first time, we've been talking with him, because I've commissioned a card that's I'll be seeing very soon. Um, and the fact that it's us and what we've been talking about and talking about Ken, what he does, he's like, man, I got to take it to the next level with you guys. I just can't. He's already changed this thing probably like 50 times in his head, and he's been waiting and waiting. Now that we've seen the finished product, it's absolutely amazing. And the fact that he can do that for us and help our collections, because that's what he's doing. He's highlighting our collections,
Mhm.
so he's taking that card art and and really taking it to the next level so that we can go ahead and enjoy it, our collections on a higher level. And here we go, we do that, and here the son
Yeah,
of the man, the legend, you know
Acknowledges it.
reaching
That's
out to you,
that's
not
cool.
once, not once,
yeah, but twice.
twice.
Yeah, I
Really
was like,
cool.
"Dang, yeah, that was dope." I'm like, I told my wife, and she don't give a crap about my cards. I had to explain what was going on. She's like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "No, this guy that." She's like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." So I was, yeah, it
That's
was.
how it's kind of funny because I know you guys are I know you're a big Clemente fan. I know you guys are Philly, Dr. J. Those are the two guys like my dad, like
Oh yeah.
I remember when my dad met Dr. J, I was with him. We were at the National in Cleveland like 10 years ago, maybe
Mhm.
8, 9 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago, dude. Just seeing my dad get to meet Dr. J, and he always, I mean, Dr. J and Clemente. That's what he said. He's like, it's not the fact that they were just greats. They were better men than they were even
Okay.
better players,
Yep.
and that's like his love of
Mhm.
sports is what got my brother and I into it. But getting to see him meet Dr. J was like awesome for me. I mean, I'll never. He just shook his hand. He says, "Doc, you were my hero growing up. You were my
Dope.
guy. That
Yeah.
was awesome." But that's how my dad would speak of Roberto. Like
Yeah.
he almost choke himself up because I mean, he taught us how to play baseball. He was our first coach.
Gotcha.
We were from a little town, and my brother and I
Mhm.
were pretty good because it was
Yeah.
a small town.
Yeah.
But he always used Roberto as like a reference of like how you conduct yourself within the game. And
Nice.
I mean, so
Cool.
shout out to you guys. That's awesome. That's awesome. You
Yeah,
got
yeah,
love
it's
from
cool.
your son.
Wow, man, I can't wait to have those cards in hand now. I mean, yeah, yeah, I can't wait. Like that's gonna be sick. So yeah, that again, we always talk about it's more than cards, and
Yeah. Are you
that's
crying?
no, that's the epitome of it. No, that's I
I
need
think
that for you.
if my old man was on here talking about
You would
Roberto,
have
he'd
started crying.
probably choke up.
Oh, really?
I
Nice.
mean, he
I tell
loved
you
it.
what, not for
Same with
nothing.
Dr. J though.
Yeah,
I
not for
mean,
nothing, Steve. When
loved
we had our when we interviewed Danny Torres and we did the special on Roberto Clemente, you were one of the first guys that reached out, and
I
you
had
talked about, yeah, and you talked about that and what it meant to you and your dad, and that choked me up, man. Like that whole time and just doing that and really digging into what Roberto was about and talking to Danny and talking to you and the the impact that he's had. You know about it when you're growing up Puerto Rican. He's like this cult hero. Everybody knows Roberto Clemente, but it's like it's in the background. You don't really know as a kid. You just know, but you really don't. So now
Mhm.
that we're adults and we're diving deep into what this man did and what he stood for, it's mind blowing. Um, and dude, like when you talk to me, like I literally choked up. I was like, yo, this is deep.
I'll never forget when my dad told me he was talking about he taught my brother and I on a chalkboard in our basement. He would draw up a field and show us like this is what you do when a runner's here. What do you do?
Mhm.
I mean, he taught us the game. And
That's cool.
I'll never forget when I asked him something about Roberto, and he says, "Well, he's passed away now." And I thought, "What do you mean?" He says, "He died in a plane crash
Mhm.
doing something for his home country, like that's the type of man he is, and that's why he's like, this is why I use him as an example. And,
That's dope. That's
I
dope.
mean, it
Yeah,
takes me back. That's all.
that's awesome. So let's transition into some regular cars, I guess.
Tony, you can go ahead and wipe your tears away. Now let's get into
Yeah.
a little bit more. Don't act all tough. I seen you.
Bro, if I was crying, I would have turned my camera off. Yeah, no, dude, I cry for like stupid stuff too. Like,
Do you cry?
Like,
I
not like
cry-
not like
listen,
this type of stuff, but like it'll be like
Yeah.
weird stuff. Like I don't know, like
I cry all
I
the
don't know, it's
time.
funny. Oh yeah, you're freaking.
Like the older I get, the more I cry. I don't know what it is.
You know what's weird is that happens. Well, the only thing I really cry at is at church. That's it. That's it. But like other than that, I really don't. Nothing really affects me like that.
Yeah.
But the older
Yeah.
I've gotten, it's like when I go to church now, I sit in the back by myself. I'm sitting there thinking like, what the hell am I doing? Like everybody else is chill. Like, what's going on, man?
It's because you got all them sins pinned up in there trying to come all out. But,
Amen, man. That was a
so-
different dude not a
For
few
sure.
years ago.
That's good. So yeah, man, let's get to Oz's favorite segment here. The
Card of the week.
Well, I got one coming in. So Steve, man, I'm not in competition with you, but man, we are like collecting the same stuff. I got another.
Yeah, dude. That's why I always reach out when you post a new McNabb because it's like it's the same years and the same
Yes,
sets.
those are fire. Now that I get, and I said I don't collect, but like I said, like certain stuff, like those tops ones of those years, like they're really, I find them to be dope. I have another one coming some point next week. Pick that up from my guy Pac Nicholson. Pac Nicholson. Oh, Pac Nicholson. Check him out. He has stuff. He's always has stuff up there for sale. But
if you don't want to say, is it a McNabb?
Yeah, it's a McNabb. It's a McNabb. Yeah, it's a McNabb. It's a green one. It's really cool. So I can't wait to get it.
I love them color match.
Yeah, for sure. So Oz, you want to go first? You want me to go first, or Steve? You got anything there with you?
Yeah, I grabbed the two. The last 2 days I had mail days. You want me to go?
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So I picked up a 2001. Hold on, let me fix the glare. 2001.
Oh yeah, LT.
Hold on.
Yeah, you gotta love the glare. There you go.
There we go. 2001 press pass, LaDainian Tomlinson certified auto PSA 9.
Nice.
Now this is special to me because press pass isn't like, I guess you could compare it to like Leaf now, where it's like, I don't know if it was licensed, but it was all college uniform stuff. My brother and I are diehard college football fans.
Okay.
And like, that's how I jumped on that LT bandwagon because he was so dirty at TCU, man.
Yeah.
He was dirty. And my brother and I would rip through press pass. This is when I would open packs and shit. Like, I don't even open packs now.
Yeah.
But like we would go through press pass because we liked the college uniform stuff because we loved college football. And then this one came in today. This is the 2009.
There you go.
The 2009 Bowman Chrome X-Fractor Tomlinson out of 250.
It looks like it's 3D.
Doesn't it? Dude, this year and this set looks beautiful. And I'm personally a sucker for, if you go on my Instagram, you'll see I'm a sucker for X-Fractors, man.
Those are
they
so
pop,
cool.
man. They just that checkerboard look, it pops, man.
Yeah, you see, like, so when I see stuff like that, I immediately, like, I'll see, like you say, 2006 Bowman, whatever, boom, 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 Eagles, whatever it is, and the players I collect. Like, that's how I get inspiration like that. And yeah, dude, I love them. The X, like, once I learned all the fractors, I was like, yeah, these are dope.
Shout out, Tone. You might want to follow this dude. And I met him at the Midwest Monsters up in Fishers. And he collects Peyton and Brady of these years, and he likes the X-Fractors, the refractor stuff. Carlson Cards. He's got a YouTube channel and an Instagram.
What is he?
Carlson Cards.
Okay.
It's like a blue banner. I got to shout my man out because a lot of my ideas come from watching his YouTube where he grades. And he always grabs those 2000 sets with the X-Fractors and stuff. Yeah. So I like mark down the sets I like. And I'll get on eBay and the different auction places and start searching those years for Tomlinson.
That's dope. That's dope. So I'll go. This you guys heard me actually negotiate this last week. Yeah, last week's episode or this week's, whatever it is. These things tend to run one over the other, but it's the 1986 Panini Super Sport Mike Tyson rookie sticker.
Bang bang.
Mm.
Finally got that bad boy. And this is actually top 15%. It's got the
Ooh,
PWCC
Ooh.
thing, whatever. So whatever that adds to it. But yeah, man.
50,000.
Yeah, that adds an extra 10K.
So would that be
Uh,
like the Olympic? Is that like an
yeah,
Olympic
yep.
thing? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yep. So this, sticker book and this particular sticker, there's a couple versions of this. The Italian, we've talked about it, and then you have the British version. Same exact, but the only,
Mi
difference
sono
it's
accromato.
yes, there you go. Whatever you said, muy bien. Um, so yeah, so this man finally got that sucker. Because
That's awesome,
this
bro.
dude during the boom, this and a 5, it was like 4K, 5K, just crazy numbers. And it's still what's crazy is so the floor for these things are a lot higher than they were even in 2019.
Mhm.
Like if you see cards across, yeah, their cards are down, but they're up from.
Mhm.
And because I looked at the comps and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's what they used to go for. I'm like, oh jeez, now it's like 3x of what they used to go for, but it's still 60-70% off of what it was going, in the boom. So yeah, finally got that. And actually, so this it's weird. When I first saw it, it has a like inside of it, it's like another little holder. I don't know if you can see these bubble things.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
At first, I was throwing me off. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yep.
But it's
That's
it's
cool. It
it's
keeps them from sliding, I think.
yeah, yeah. That's the first time I had seen that because I don't own anything that's a sticker. So there he is, Iron Mike. Now I just need that PMG and we're
PMG
good.
in the video game, right?
Yeah, yeah. I want to get that video game. And the video game, I'll just keep waiting out. I see they keep those prices in the video game market keep dropping. Those games aren't rare.
Boss still won't let you get the sticks.
Nah, he's a goof. Um,
We're
I
having a
had to.
tournament. We're gonna have to. Was Steve? Was it you talking about the tournament? Who's talking about a
it
punch?
was James.
Was it? Oh, James Lumen
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about a punch out tournament. You know?
Oh, you talking about video game or for real?
No, no, no.
We
Video
ain't gonna
game.
fight.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, just hopping on to punch out and see.
I'll
Who.
lose on the sticks.
What do you got, Oz?
All right. So in honor of my boy AI, in honor of Tops as well, I have the 1996-97 Tops Draft Redemption card. Number one, Allen Iverson. This is the redemption that you sent in, and they would send this back. He was the number one pick that year, and it's this puppy right here.
Ooh.
I love this card. It's like cracked ice before
Oh,
cracked ice.
Mhm. Yeah.
that's sharp, bro.
The shine on this, and then it has the chrome border. This is just super dope. So I love. Don't get me wrong. I love his original rookie card from Tops.
I think that
Obviously,
one's better.
yeah, this one.
Yeah, because the rookie one on tops, I know he's yelling, but I like that one better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I like
yeah.
that pose
Like
better.
this one caught my eye
Hmm.
when I was
Oh,
buying
for
these.
sure.
Oh, in honor of Beckett slabs as well. This one is
There you go.
9.5, and these what I was told, they were very difficult. The centering was usually way off on these cards, so to get it at a 9.5, which one this one is, it's pretty rare. So that's
Look at you.
one of my keepers right there.
Look at you. The king of low pop, as they say.
There you go.
So what are you guys looking at picking up? What's in the hopper without without pulling the curtain too far back and having people run the prices up on you? But Steve, what are you looking at now
Yeah.
this week?
Right now, I'm kind of plotting and waiting. I got a concrete project coming up. I'm going to redo my sidewalks, my driveway. So right now, I'm going to fund that. But my
Dude,
plan is to.
I'm in the same boat.
There's a few. There's a few target cards. I probably want to wait till around national, and then I'll just kind of see. And like, I'm not trying to bring macro shit into this, but like with all the banking stuff that's going on and such,
Mhm.
like I don't mind waiting till national and even seeing if maybe prices go down more. But like, there's two cards I want. I'm not a LeBron guy, but
Mhm.
I do like the 04-05 Topps Finest LeBron
Okay.
X Fractor. It's because he's wearing the mask. And
Oh,
I'm in
okay.
Ohio. This is when everybody still loved him in Ohio because
Yeah.
he didn't leave Cleveland at that point. But like him wearing that mask on that card in that set, it's sick. I'd like to get that X Fractor, and I still want to get a KD Flawless patch auto. If I can, I have the Olympic Flawless auto. I have the OKC one. I'd like to get a Golden State one now. Those
Okay.
are the two cards like I'd really like to get my hands on.
Nice.
Oz?
I am banking, just stacking my chips for the national. Obviously, not going too crazy, but I'm continuing my Michael Jackson king of low pop dominance. Low balling the hell out of all these people. He. Um, I don't want to put out what it is, but something just popped up on auction, and I'm blown away. And I'm just like, yo, and I don't want to say what it is because I don't want anybody to know.
I'm gonna run it up on you.
Yeah. And right now it's at a nice little $14, and there's 5 days left. So it's like I'm pretty sure it's not gonna stay there. But if I get that thing, Jesus, that's one of those where I'm like, yeah, got that, baby. So yeah, I'm digging this whole Michael Jackson thing. Like I want to be that guy. Like when somebody says, yo, do you anybody that collects Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk to Oz. He's the MJ guy. I want to be that guy.
Okay, that's fair. I actually have my first cards up for sale in a minute now. Because I was like, yo, I gotta. So I have 3 cards up on consignment now. Shout out to my guy Joku. He put them. It's nice. I'm lazy. I don't feel like taking pictures, listing stuff, sending it out, and because I got to recoup some of this money that I put out for this Tyson.
Yeah.
I said I need to. Like I said, I was always digging into pickables. You know what? These cards fell out of love with them. Like Craig and Carmine said, I'm like, I just moved these to.
So what's the process with that? So you just send it to him and that's
You
it?
send it to him, and that's I took pictures just hey, this is what I'm sending you, stuff like that. But the gist of it is, you send it to him. He posts the cards on eBay, and he'd charge you a fee. Whatever the card is.
So whatever the card sells for is that's the
I believe,
sale.
and it's I believe his fees are fair. Again, I'm not an expert in all of that, but I didn't find them to be too crazy. And just go sell them for me. I don't have to ship them. I don't have to do any of that stuff. It's for the lazy, like me.
Yeah.
You ever throw stuff on your Instagram?
I have. I actually sold. I did one story sale. I sold the Jokic that I had, a couple. I think I sold like 2 or 3.
Good job.
Yeah. That thing was
Listen, real quick. Anybody out there? Make sure you sell your Jokic's. No. This is a PSA. This is, and I'm not talking grading. This is serious because here's what's gonna happen. Like once these playoffs hit, the West is stacked, bro.
Oh yeah.
And I don't see, this is like, I'm not talking crap. This is like my honest, like if I'm looking at the NBA macro level, like the West, it's like they have like 6 number 1 seeds. Honestly,
I agree with you.
It's
you could sway me into like, I was just gonna say about 6 different teams. Like you could literally argue me into it because if
I don't see Denver coming out of there. And with that being said, him not winning that 3rd MVP, I don't see him winning another MVP, and I don't see Denver winning another, getting a chance to win the championship with them constructed the way they are. So this is the height of, where I see Jokic's.
So you're saying I sold my light blue prism at the right time?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I think your KDs are the ones that are going to take. I think Phoenix. I think Phoenix finally, like, they're kind of like laying in the weeds a little bit without all the hype of being number 1 and all that stuff. And I think they come out of the West, or at least make the conference finals.
Yeah, if Golden State gets fully healthy, there's going to be a problem.
I thought he was about to splash one as soon as you said it.
Yeah. So I have those cards up, and hopefully recoup some funds, which would be nice. And then right now I don't have anything like in the sites other than like I said, I picked up that small purchase of McNabb that's coming in the mail. Should be next week. I did pick up a bunch of 56 tops. You know what? So I'm putting that up, right? And I picked up today like 30 of them, like $3.
Yeah.
Oh,
So like it's crazy to like fathom. Okay, this was a grip,
Yeah.
and then I can get 30 cards for
From 1956.
yeah. Like it just it's strange to
you know what? I'm glad you said that because I still would like a 56 Clemente. That's probably a national card too. My plan
yeah.
is to
Those
like
aren't
bring
yeah.
some money.
Those
And
aren't rare. Those aren't
yeah,
rare. You can
I
pick
should
them
be
up.
able to find one at a.
Yeah, you
I'd
can
like to
find
get in
them.
the 5 to 6 range.
Yeah,
Something that has decent eye appeal for that grade. I could
yeah. I know.
probably
Like
feel in
usually
person.
the 3 to 4 range, they're between $400 and $500
Right.
with decent eye appeal. So when you
Mhm.
get up a little higher, it'll be a little bit more. But yeah, that's I talked about it last week. I need that card again because I had to sell it to get the rookie,
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna buy it online because it's not rare and I'm not gonna pay shipping and tax on a card that I could
So
just
I
pick
kind
up
of
at
had
the
to tell
show.
myself because I was looking at a few of them on
Yeah, don't worry about
don't
it.
know which auction, but one of the
Yeah,
auctions. And I
nah,
thought
don't
to
worry.
myself, I could probably get this in person and save on tax and ship it. You know what I mean? And just get through all that and probably get a better percentage just putting cash in a dealer's face.
Yep. Yeah, 1,000%. Because again, it's not rare, and you go to a show, they're all over the place, and which is like I had to learn that too. Because at first I was trying to get them all online.
Yeah.
And like you go to a show and they're all over the place. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, why am I worried about it? Like I haven't bought
People
one
love that
online.
set. So people love it. So like you're gonna see it out in showcases because it moves.
Yeah, I love that set. So now I don't know, I think it's like a 300 card set. So I'm 10% of the way in.
Yeah. That's like me with my PSA 9 86 Fleer.
Yeah, you're at halftime with that.
Yeah. I got to get cracking on that. I got a lot. Let me see.
Yeah, you got at some that was like a mission for him, and then it kind of well, I mean, also you were building it during
Yeah. So,
the
I
hike.
got
So
a nice little,
okay,
Oh damn.
yeah.
yeah, this guy got
I got some.
Oz the people's man always full of surprises. So
Don't you worry about the eyes.
there you go. So fellas, we're gonna wrap up a little bit. Wrap up here. Steve, always appreciate you jumping in, hanging out a little bit.
Hey man, I appreciate you
Yeah.
guys hollering at me. I'm always down.
Oh yeah, dude. Like doors always open, man. Just walk on in. You're always welcome to join us. Before we leave though, what you got cracking this weekend?
A lot of church, man. Holy Thursday today, tomorrow going back, and then Saturday's my Easter vigil. We got a bunch of people. We got a few people joining my local church, so
Hey,
it's gonna
Steve,
be
do you play the tambourine?
the what?
Do you play the tambourine in church?
No,
Oh,
I'm a
There's-
money collector. That's what I do. I pick.
no, because there's this
That's
video.
what I do.
There's this video that went viral where they put they put all kinds of songs to it, but
Oh, I
you
think I
don't
know
talk
what you're
about
talking
dude,
about. They're getting down, and the dude's just
yeah, the guy has the tambourine and he's
his
stomping
legs
his
are
feet.
going a million miles. His top is just
Yeah,
still.
and I was like, yo, is that Splenda?
No, man, I can dance better than that.
Okay, I didn't know if you got taken over by the Holy Spirit and just
Amen.
I just making sure.
Oh, God. Hey, we got Lee says, enjoy your videos. Found us a couple weeks ago going through the archives. Thank you, Lee. Don't go too far back because it gets progressively worse as you go backwards. So
Thank you, we appreciate it, man.
no, yeah, appreciate you.
I knew IFC would get a kick out of that, man.
Oh my God. See, now that made me cry. See? Everybody's gonna start Googling that video and like, yeah,
Yo,
that
you
is
got to
Splenda,
check it out.
yeah,
It is the most unbelievable video. This dude is getting it in, and it's Steve's doppelganger. Like seriously, I'm like, wait a minute, bro. That looks exactly like Splenda, bro. I don't know.
It's great. Oh, man. So hey, man, again, thanks everybody for checking us out. Chat as always, love seeing the comments. Appreciate you guys.
Fire
Steve,
chat. Fire.
thank you, sir. Monday, another episode drops. We're going into the DeLorean. Let's just leave it at that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Monday's episode was fun. Takes what'd you say? Back to the days where I had hair and you forget
And
what the heck.
I was able to grab the rim off the vert.
There
Jump.
you go.
Back in the day, I had some hops, bro. So I could grab two hands on the rim, off the vert. I dunked one time in my life on a real rim.
All right. Well, good for you. Anyways,
Hey,
so
it's an accomplishment, bro. Don't hate.
Hey, I'm a 5'5" grown ass man, but I could get 2 hands on the net.
Okay,
See,
Let me pull
nice,
myself up to the rim.
there you go.
nice.
Papa Jim.
Papa Jim, thank you. Go Phils. Papa
Go.
Jim was torn because man, Rangers were whooping them. Man, the Rangers put a whooping on the Phillies.
The
Boy,
Yanks did too. What, they only won one, right?
yeah, yeah. So
Not a good start for the Phils, but they usually do this. They'll start out real
yeah,
slow.
yeah. It's dude. It's 100. It's 2,048 games in one season.
Yeah, and I
So
think
you
a
got
lot
like
of it has to do with that, the pitch
yeah,
clock. Our guys getting adjusted, especially Nola.
yeah. It'll happen. It's all good. Yeah, Lee, definitely reach out to us, man. We'd love to meet up. Last time it was cool. So last quick story. We met up with some guy, couple people that Oz had the shirt on. Now I have my shirt, Oz. We're good to go. So he had his shirt on and like, hey, and when people kind of put two and two together, who you are and they hear your voice, stuff like that. So it's always cool to meet and talk to people at the shows.
Yep.
So yeah,
Why we do this, bro?
absolutely. So all right, brothers, I'm good. You guys, anything before we close out?
Appreciate you guys having me as always, man. God bless everybody in the chat.
Yes,
you go.
sir. Love everybody out there. Love you, Steve. Love you, Tony. And we're going to end this like we always do. And that's keep focused, keep positive, and keep collecting. Hey, yo, Tone, bring the beat back.